For this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to open your edited pictures in Lightroom into Photoshop so you can then build your cube template. So the first thing you're going to want to do once you're done is you're going to go to your image under the Develop module, and you're going to right-click over the photo, go to Edit in and Edit in Photoshop. This will then allow you to edit a copy with the Lightroom adjustments. Make sure you choose the one that says Lightroom adjustments so that your edits will show up in Photoshop. I'm going to click on Edit, and then it will launch Photoshop and open the file. I can also select more than one picture at a time. If I go down to my film strip and I click on the first one, hold the Shift key down, and click on the last picture. I then right-click over that thumbnail and do edit in Photoshop. And that will launch all of the pictures that I highlighted into the Photoshop program. Remember to edit a copy with Lightroom adjustments. And here they all are. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go grab the template, and it is located in our Classroom. So Google Classroom, Project 2 Descriptive Cubes, you'll see the template. I'm going to click on it. I'm going to download it, but it doesn't give me an option in this window. So I have to go to the top right where you see the 3 dots and it says More Actions. And I'm going to open in a new window. Once the new window is up, you'll see there's now a download button. So I'm going to make sure to download. And I'm going to save it to my F drive. F drive, Photo 1, Project 2. Okay, and I'm going to save it here. You'll see it download on the bottom left-hand side. So now I'm going to minimize, go back to Photoshop, and I'm going to open it. So I'm going to go to the top left-hand side to where it says File, Open, and I'm going to make sure I'm on my F drive, Photo 1, Photo 2. Now I'm going to open the template for Cube. Okay, so now I have my 6 pictures open and my template. But as you can see, the template has squares. So I actually need to crop my 6 photos to a square format before I paste them in. So I'm going to go to my first picture and I'm going to crop it. So on the left-hand side, you'll see these little symbols. They're buttons. And if I click on the 4th one down, and it's the crop tool. When I click on the crop tool, you'll see it starts to put these little dots around the edges. I want to go up to my options bar, which is under the menu on top, and I want to make sure it says 1:1 square, so it'll keep the ratio for me. Now all I have to do is move my picture around in it to get the composition that I want. I can also make it smaller and move it around and place it how I would like for it to look. Double click when I like the crop, or up on the top you can click on the check. Okay, and you will go through and you will do that for all of your images. Make sure square is selected, move it around. When you like it, double click. Okay, all right, and now I'm going to take one of my pictures. I'm going to get out of the crop tool. I'm going to go to the move tool. Okay. And the first thing I'm going to do is I need to select it to copy it. So I'm going to click on Control A on my keyboard, Control C to copy, and then I'm going to go to my template and I'm ready to paste. But because I have these little squares, I don't want to worry about fitting it to the square. I'm going to select the square to paste into. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab a tool. So on the left-hand side of the toolbox, you'll see the magic wand tool. And I'm going to click on my first box. You'll see the marching ants. And now I can go up to Edit in the top left-hand side, Paste Special, and Paste Into. And this is going to put it into the square versus you worrying about fitting it to the square. Now, it has cropped my picture. I know the image is larger than that square. So all I need to do is edit, transform, free transform, or I can click on Control T on the keyboard, and now I can size it. Okay. I'm making it a little bit bigger than the box, so I have no white gaps. Double click, and it's done. I'm going to go grab my second one. Make sure it's cropped. Okay. Control A to copy, Control C. And then I'm going to go back to here. I'm going to get the Move tool. Okay. I'm going to go to the bottom right-hand side, and I'm going to make sure I click on my layer that's called Background. I need to click on Background to select the square. And then Edit, Paste Special, Paste Into. And again, it's too big, so I'm going to click on Control T and scale it down so it fits inside. And double click. And then I'll go ahead and do that for all my images. And then once I get to the side ones, I'm actually going to need to rotate them. So when I select my next one, Control A, Control C, I'm going to go back to my template, click on Background, select the box, and when I do Edit, Paste, Special, Paste Into, I'm going to transform it to make it smaller again. But this time, not only am I going to make it smaller, I'm going to scale it, I also am going to rotate it. So if I take my cursor to the edge, I'll see a little arrow, and I can rotate it. I can also go up to my options bar where you see the little angle, and I can do -90. And then you'll do the same for the other ones. Except for this time, I'm going to do 90 degrees. And for the last one, when I transform it, I'm going to do 180 because I want it to be upside down. All right, and there's your template. The next thing you want to do is make sure that you save it. So you're going to go to Save As, and you're going to add to the beginning of Template for Cubes your first name, last name, grade, and template for cubes. And the first time you save it, you want to save it as that Photoshop.psd. And then you want to save it one more time. And this time you're going to save it instead of a PSD, you're going to save it as a JPEG because that's the file you're going to submit to the assignment. And then you'll go through and you'll do File, Save As for all of the pictures that you just edited. First and last name. And you can start with cube 1 and go through 6. And then you also make sure you change it to a JPEG. Click Save. and save all 6.